In this video, I will be teaching the basics of HTML and what is required to have a simple web page. HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language. It is the standard language used for creating web pages. It is a markup language, not a programming language. There are programming languages in web development, but we will cover that in a later video. Web pages are made from HTML elements, each usually with a start and end tag. I'll explain these more as I start to show you some code. Web browsers, such as Chrome, Firefox, Safari, Brave, Opera, etc., read the HTML and displays the web page for users to see. There are many different editors that we can use to create an HTML document. I will be using Notepad for this video, and maybe a couple of other videos, but in the future we will use Microsoft's Visual Studio Code, as this is my preferred editor for web development. I will also show you how to view your website on our web browser, which can be done without an internet connection because you are loading a native or local document from your computer. Let's get started. Okay, here we go. We are in Notepad. The very first thing you need for your web page in your HTML document is your document type. This is going to be all capitalized, and you're going to have your angle brackets that you use. We will always use angle brackets for our tags, whether they're start tags or end tags or just tags. Our tags in HTML are the angle brackets. So the first thing we do is declare our doc type, HTML. This tells the web browser essentially what it is reading. Next, for me, for a simple page, I'm going to declare the language that I'm using, which in my case is English US. After that, we are going to put our head tag, our head start tag, to create our head. That's the head of, not the header on the web page, but the head of the HTML document. After that, I'm going to put my meta character set. One thing I'll explain is I won't do a lot of in-depth explaining as to what everything is. I'll let you go and research that so you can learn that on your own. That's how I learned really well. I'm going to let you learn that way too. Do some research as to what that meta character set means and how that helps you. Then we'll do our title. Now this is the title that shows up when you open the website at the very top. I'll show you that when we open up Chrome to view our website. So we'll put my first web page title. Now with this tag, this has to have an end tag, and for an end tag, you can see our start tag has the angle brackets with title in between. The end tag, you see that I added here the /. That tells the program that that is the end of our tag and that we are starting a new tag afterwards. The next tag we're going to do is our end tag for head. This will be our header for now. Again, this is a really simple web page, so we're going to do that. Body, and then here we're going to start indenting. In Notepad, I just do 2 spaces. In other programs that I use, for instance Visual Studio Code, I use just the tab. But here we're just going to do 2 spaces for every indent. So our heading, not to be confused with the head, our heading here, or our head that I want to have is just the title. It will show, well, we'll see how it shows up. We're going to put my first web page heading. And then here we're going to do our /H1. Now the H's are, there's an H1 through H6. And as we develop more web pages later on, we'll see what all those do. You can mess with that yourself and change it up as you go here, just to see what they do. What I'm typing in now is a paragraph element used with the P. We have our start tag with P, and then we'll have an end tag here to let us know that we're done here. We'll put a period in there since that is a sentence. After which we end with our body, ending body tag, and at the very end of every HTML document we need to have an ending HTML tag. Next we'll show you, I'll save this real quick. Save it anywhere you can find it, and when you're saving it, we're going to save this one as my first web page. Make sure you save it as an HTML document. It's my first web page.html. Wherever you want. I just put it on my desktop. So here in Windows Explorer, if you're wanting to open up the web page to view it in a browser, my browser currently is Chrome, so if I double click on it, it will open it up in Chrome. Remember that I saved it as my first web page.html. That was very crucial to have that .html, or else it will not open up as an HTML document in your Chrome, or Edge, or Safari, or Brave, whatever browser you happen to be using. So if we double click on this, it will open up in Google Chrome browser and will show us what we have created. So here we have in Chrome my first web page heading, my first paragraph for my first website written in HTML. Now let's go and open that up and we'll see what we've got here. So my first web page title, that is up here in our title, and then the H1, that's the H1 size right there, my first web page heading as we've written there, and then our paragraph that we wrote, my first paragraph for my first website written in HTML. Minimize that so you can see. And there are other things that we can do to make this look cooler. We can change the font, we can size it differently, we can change the position of it. There are tons of things that can be done with HTML and combined with CSS. We'll start with HTML and we'll go on in the next lesson with some other cool stuff. But for now, this is what we're focusing on, is just the simple basics of what are required to create a web page, which are your declaration type of what type it is, and that's the very first thing you need, which is the exclamation point, and in all caps needs to say doctype HTML. Then the next main section is your head, which will contain your title and some other things such as meta character set. Again, I'm going to let you look that up on your own. After which we have our body, and within the body has the what will show on the web page, such as our title here and our paragraph. After which we have the end tags, the end tag for body and the end tag for HTML. We've already put our end tag for head up there. So those are our basic elements. We have our head and our body. The body is what makes up the actual what you see in the web page. If we need to go back in and edit our web page, when we double click on it, it automatically pulls it up in the browser that we have set as our main browser. However, if we want to edit that web page, we go to here, we go open with, and for this instance we were using Notepad, open with Notepad, and it'll pull right up. So there we've got, oh, there we go, on the other screen. So here we've got all of our stuff. Again, I'll go over the saving as part. So save as my first web page, and again we want it to save as .html, because if we don't save it as .html, then it will not open up as an HTML document. It already exists. Do we want to replace it? In this case, yes. That's how you would save that. Pretty simple, pretty easy. In the next video, we'll go over some other stuff and see what else we can do with simple HTML. Thanks for watching.